Welcome to a bold and distant future. Merry Christmas, what is it, leftist scum. Merry Christmas, leftist scum. How are we doing today? That's how Donald...
FCLS, Merry Christmas, leftist scum.
That's what Donald Trump put in his, I think it was his Christmas Eve tweet.
Merry Christmas, leftist scum?
Yeah.
He said that?
Yeah, we'll see it in a minute here, but...
That's interesting. And now I'm kind of glad I haven't tuned into the news for a couple of days.
Yeah, I've been trying
This
to... This
guy is such a caricature.
Wow!
There we are.
There he is. Yeah, he's going to wreck our Christmas. Here it is. Merry Christmas to all, including the radical left scum that is doing everything possible to destroy our country, but are failing badly. And then he goes on about all his accomplishments. We don't have open borders anymore, men and women's sports, transgender for everyone. I don't know what that means. He's inexplicable.
I guess it means we can all be transgender, and I suppose that if you believe that, you're leftist scum.
I guess so. Yeah, that happens. He went on a tweeting rant, apparently 150 tweets on Christmas Day or something.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
That's all right. Nicki Minaj deleted her Instagram after losing nearly 10 million followers because she's showing up at these Turning Point USA events. Crazy. Nicki Minaj.
I did not know who this person was until I read something about this last night. I am clueless, really, beyond this. Who is she?
She's a rapper and a pop star.
That's an interesting placement. She's a singer. Yeah. That, she doesn't have a huge career anymore, and it's probably going to be even less in the not-too-distant future because, yeah, she does keep showing up at these things.
Roy, you were in Japan. What does that say on her arm?
I don't know. I'd have to run it through Google Translate. I have no idea. Is this in bad taste? The 3 stages of grief? This woman, we have to keep our eyes on her because she's doing something. We can't just ignore her as a nothing, in my view, because she's trying to keep Turning Point, going. And she
This is Ms. Kirk, right?
Yes, this is Erica Kirk. But she is a very strange person.
Well, didn't our beloved Vice President show up and run one of the Turning Point things that happened recently? And
oh, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, Vance made an appearance.
There's another interesting placement.
I think we should say Merry Christmas, leftist scum every time that face comes up.
There we go. Why don't we say it on 3 all together? 1, 2, 3.
Merry Christmas, leftist scum.
Good, that's it. We'll use that. So this is what's happening in our country. It's a bit odd. You think there's a reprieve, a day off Christmas. You think hate would take Christmas off, but I guess it keeps going. Fascism has to keep moving forward.
I think we ought to stop calling it fascism. To quote, Big Lebowski, at least it's an ethos. I don't think this is even at that level. I think this is just pure, unadulterated, white supremacist cruelty.
And greed.
And greed.
Yeah, that sort of maybe it gives them too much credit calling them fascists. Is that what we're saying?
I think so. I mean, I think basically they're a bunch of thugs.
I love this photo. This is a great photo.
Yeah, I went through I've been perusing the Epstein files, and this one struck me as being particularly tantalizing.
That's hilarious.
Blacked out,
all redacted.
All redacted.
That is absolutely hilarious. I gotta go look at those. I could use, a bit of a bump.
There are some very interesting documents coming out, written documents. The photographs are pretty interesting too, but I don't know. The written stuff is what's really coming down. This is a strange one. Have you seen this?
Merry Christmas, leftist scum.
Yeah.
I got that. I'm the only one that got that. Okay. It's hard to read. 4 feet 10 in one sock.
It's apparently a quote from Lolita. And this is Jeffrey Epstein's photography. He wrote lines from Lolita on women's body parts. Now, we don't know who the women were and their age. But there's a whole series of photos of this thing going on.
Or something low, plain lay in the morning, standing 4 feet 10 in one sock.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. There, I said it again. I got to stop doing that.
It's okay. We'll bleep you out. No, we won't. Yeah, Noam Chomsky's flying around with Jeffrey Epstein. This is another shot I found. And I found another Woody Allen shot that we'll see in a second. But
I wonder if he's the one who, is naked and 4'5", and maybe the Lolita quoted him. Maybe that's his foot.
yeah, it's Noam Chomsky's foot. Maybe he does.
I beg to differ. That is not a male foot. Unless it's a 10-year-old male, which is possible.
Oh, this picture came up small.
Merry
but it's
Merry
nice.
Christmas, leftist scum.
Yeah, there you go. This one has a missing file. There was a file that came out of photo, and then they took it away, and there's a missing number. 468 was missing. I forgot what the photograph was now. Oh,
I think based on the photographs we just saw, we could pretty much guess.
I think it was a picture of a desk drawer with it being open, and inside was a picture of Trump with some girls, but they were young women. I don't know if they're girls, ladies. And then I think maybe they've since put it back in again, but it's like one they missed, and they tried to retrieve it back. Strange. Now, this is the other thing. Maybe you've heard about this, how they're putting out these redacted documents. Merry Christmas, leftist scum.
Merry Christmas,
leftist scum.
But then they copy-paste it, and you put it into your own document, and then all the redactions go away, all the black lines go away, so we can actually see it.
Huh.
But this is an interesting story about Donald Trump licking and sucking nipples.
Almost lost my lunch.
Sorry. I didn't know this is... We should have a graphic warning at the beginning. Some of the contents may not be suitable.
There's actually a name for people who are attracted to young adolescents, and it's not pedophilia. It's a different name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, might be worth looking up.
That's going to be problematic. Here's the Woody Allen shot.
Who's that in back of Woody Allen?
You know who I think it is? I think it might be Dick Cavett, an older Dick Cavett, because they're friends. I think so.
I don't think that's Dick Cavett.
Really? I think it might be.
I mean, you could be right. No, but why is Woody Allen all... How do we even know that's Woody Allen?
That's a good point.
The guy in back of him does look familiar, though. I can't pin a name on it.
I think that's
it almost
what
looks
Dick
like they have him in a gimp suit. Like from Pulp Fiction.
I don't know exactly what that suit is, though. What is it?
Which one? The one Woody Allen is wearing? It looked like a winter's suit, but why?
Yeah, maybe it was cold in New York City.
Well, he's inside, and he's getting heated up by Epstein.
Yep. It is daunting going through the files. Let me tell you, it's painstaking. It takes a lot of effort to look through. You got to open each one separately. There's a search function that kind of works. Kind of weird. Well, Donald Trump did this. He added his name to the Kennedy Center without anyone's permission. He just hired people with these cranes to go up and add in the Donald Trump and the John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts.
Is he planning any trips to Dallas?
It's a good question. I don't know. He just might get a hero's welcome there. You never know.
Yeah, that's...
Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say something snarky. You go ahead.
Well, the interesting thing about the idea of a hero's welcome in Dallas is because companies have moved out of California and taken personnel with them when the personnel agreed to it, which would be a mistake in my opinion. There are neighborhoods that are turning more blue, so they might get a 50-50 mix there.
I suspect Dallas-Fort Worth is already pretty blue.
Merry
Transgenderism
Christmas.
for everyone. Sorry. Bit of a riff.
Oh, Merry Christmas, leftist scum.
Scum.
I put these in a couple of days ago. I don't remember where I dropped them in.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. Keeps the show moving.
It certainly does. Maybe we should sing it. Merry Christmas, leftist scum. Okay, never mind.
What's going to happen if Donald Trump ever gets out of office and things go back to normal again.
We'll have
whatever.
to hire 2 guys with cranes to go up and remove
all this stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
We'll have to elect a new board that actually takes care of performing arts. You've heard, of course, that ticket sales for the events that are scheduled have dropped off like immensely, right?
Yeah, one event was canceled. I think I forgot what it was, a symphonic event or something, and they said we're not performing. And also, I heard that when the Kennedy Center Honors TV show aired a couple of days ago, it got the very lowest ratings it's ever received in history, which is good news.
I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah.
You know, but that FIFA award ceremony was probably really well attended.
Well, that's got an international. I'm sure the televised audience was huge, but who knows how many were in the actual hall.
Yeah.
Just remember the picture on the mall. Washington Memorial and the... Oh, click the wheel to spin.
Yeah, we're going to do the Wheel of
I think
Solidarity
Santa should
again.
pop up right in the middle of the spin.
He might. You never know. I don't know where you never know where he's going to pop up next. That's part of how they keep us off balance.
The spin? You bet.
Yeah, the pop in. Donald Trump, he pops in all the time. This is from the massblackout.com. I like to give them credit. And we spin the wheel to hopefully give us some direction. And we never know what the wheel is going to predict or indicate. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, leftist.
Oh, yeah. Here we go, Alec. Valentine just came in with some stats on Dallas. 64.5% voted Democratic.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah, all through the diagonal red cap nation, there are these little reservations of, sanity. Austin's another one.
Yeah, Austin's a great little town. Reusable food and beverage containers. Do it all the time.
Yeah, I think
Got my Camelback, got my stainless steel cup. Use them like religion.
Right. That's good advice. That's a pretty easy one for everyone to do.
Not everyone wants a Camelback, but they certainly are handy. A stuffed mine full of ice and water and go out hiking or biking and lasts all day, you don't run out. It's nice.
Is that the one that's got the hose that goes to the front?
Yeah.
That's in your, I've seen people with those.
So the area where you live, I assume it's kind of hilly. You have a lot of opportunity to hike.
Yeah, we got all types of terrain. We got hills, we got flats, we got beach areas that have. There's a really nice trail that runs along the beach, which is mind blowing to me. It's like, wow, have some fabulous biking or hiking trails.
Yeah, I've been up and around in there. It's a wonderful place. I'm sorry we're going off track.
Oh, well.
It's okay.
I think there was something about some crumb. I didn't remember it from what was the thing you said we would be looking at? And I thought it was a baking thing.
I can't remember now.
I'll look back.
Sean Lennon Ono was on the Sunday morning CBS show. And
60-minute crumbles. What the hell is a 60-minute crumble? It sounds like,
it's delicious.
It sounds
you gotta
like a
try
baking term.
Yes, bake for 60 minutes.
Well, Sean Lennon Ono said amazing things. He said, you can't use violence against the man because they speak the language of violence. This is what he learned from his mom and dad. So instead, you use the language of joy and humor, which they don't know how to corral. They can't control that.
There is so much truth in that.
Yeah.
Didn't we see that fleshed out in Portland with all the people in animal suits dancing in the street?
Exactly.
By being ridiculous, you make them seem ridiculous.
Exactly.
And even on South Park, I think Jesus said love is the pinnacle of mankind's emotion.
Right.
Where do we take that? How does that fit into what's going on? How does that fit into Christian nationalism? Let's not go. That's too big a subject.
Christian nationalism is not Christianity.
We all know that.
Start from that premise.
I mean, we all know that, but the idea of, the whole thing, Jesus is love, how does that fit into Christian nationalism? Since it seems to exclude so many and more.
You need to read up on your Calvinism.
Thank you.
God does not love everybody.
Ah.
Valentine, what's that book you're reading that talks about how one group slaughters another over and over again?
Womanist Midrash.
Womanist Midrash.
No. Womanist Midrash.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Womanist Midrash.
It's by
Okay, so it's the
yeah.
Midrash, only with a more female perspective?
Yeah, it's the author is a black woman, Wilda Gaffney,
Yeah.
and I can't remember where she teaches, but she's a scholar. She's an Old Testament scholar,
That's Midrash, yeah.
but she talks about all these ways that are, she goes through the different parts of the scripture and then talks about what's happening with the women that isn't really mentioned much, and to give the background of the history and the historical context. And it's absolutely horrifying.
What is the name of the book again, please?
Womanist is like black feminism.
Okay.
so to speak.
Womanist
Ooh.
Midrash.
Midrash.
Christmas,
Yeah.
Oh,
Midrash.
Okay, that's what I thought you had said. Very
Yeah,
good.
Midrash, it's where you can question what's, in Jewish belief system. You can question and
Christmas,
have
my
dialogue
love
about
is
what you're
scum.
reading in
Yeah.
between lines of things.
I'll check that out. Thanks for the recommendation.
It's brilliant.
All right.
Because she was reading this book about how the West was won, and of course, I always recommend a book that a young Navajo man recommended to me. But it talks about how Indian tribes, we think of them as peaceful caretakers, but they were at each other's throats too. They were doing the same thing that they were talking about in the Bible. It makes me think that maybe humans just can't overcome that urge to be violent.
I don't think we did the indigenous people any favors by, putting them on a pedestal.
Probably not.
They're as human as we are, with all of the cruelty intact. Yeah, you read about the Comanches.
Yeah, I'll get the title for that book and post it in our little old and distant spot.
Thank you.
Anyway, we're jumping all over the stuff that
I know the
Roy-
leaked 60-minute.
Christmas.
This has nothing to do with crumbles. This is different.
Yeah, well, if you want to see that episode of 60 Minutes, apparently it aired on Canadian television, so it's out there. And you can, I think people have put it up on YouTube. It gets taken down, but I was able to watch it. It's like
it's not hard to find.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet, but I pretty much know what's in it. Point that CBS could be forced to take that off the air in the United States is telling. And we already know that. That's true. But that's where we live right now. We have executive fiat censorship.
Yeah, that's why. I can't
Everywhere
believe
except for the Second Amendment.
I can't believe they crumbled on it, but they did, and it's just strange. Why? But I think they're worried about their connection with the Paramount deal or something.
I
again
think you just nailed it.
Yeah.
Why is it always Paramount?
If you heard about this, but people were claiming that this was the last letter that Epstein ever wrote, and they say he wrote it to Larry Nasser. But it's a horrible letter where he writes, Trump knew about it too. Our president also shares our love of young, nubile girls.
What does Snopes say?
I didn't check Snopes, but it was included in this, Epstein file dump they did.
I'm just curious about how many people would jump in and say they think it's fake because they want to be on the side of the argument that keeps them safe.
How do you mean, keeps them safe?
Trump's going after Valentine just walked in and showed me that Trump is going after Random House and Penguin because of information that is contained in books that they have printed. So it brings us back to that whole idea of First Amendment. We think we have that, but right now we don't. And by keeping somebody safe, I'm saying they would say this because they don't want somebody coming after them the same way,
Right.
Especially when it's going public.
Yeah, well, here's the disclaimer from the DOJ saying the FBI has confirmed this alleged letter from Jeffrey Epstein to Larry Nasser is fake. It's as an average consumer of news, it's impossible to know what's real and what's not real anymore,
Consider the source.
Yeah.
This is coming from the DOJ.
Yeah, they have an interest to say it's fake, I guess, huh?
It was quite a letter, by the way. I love how they're involved in the elevation of young ladies to reach their full potential.
You bet. I look at that letter and I think, doesn't that just mesh perfectly with certain recordings that should have gotten Trump kicked out of the first presidential election he was in, but didn't?
Right. They grab him by the...
They let you.
Yeah, they let you. Anyway, the Epstein files keep churning out stuff, but it's like, I don't think it gets any traction on mainstream media or any news sources.
That's a really interesting point, because there's a lot of things that don't get traction on mainstream media.
Right.
And back to what I just said a moment ago, our First Amendment rights are crumbling. There's your 60-minute crumble. Holy crap.
Right. Any final thoughts as we head off into the new year?
Just to keep an eye on Greenland. You saw that Trump appointed an envoy to Greenland.
I didn't see that.
Basically, Trump appointed an envoy to Greenland, who's being very upfront about the United States taking over the territory.
More importantly, the movie Greenland 2 is about to drop. Another futuristic war, blow them up kind of special effects. Everything's going to hell in a handbasket kind of movie, which I'm probably not going to waste $15 or $20 on.
I hadn't heard about that.
Anyway, the envoy is the governor of Louisiana, and he made a statement to the effect that under the Monroe Doctrine, Greenland really is a territory of great interest to the United States and needs to be essentially incorporated into it, and they need to discover Cajun food.
Isn't that area, Greenland, a protectorate of the Dutch?
Denmark.
Denmark. Yeah, okay. That's
Denmark.
Yeah, it is an autonomous region, but it is managed, and it's basically, call it what it is. It's a colony of Denmark.
But he's going back at that again. Strange.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to the creation of a new fusion cuisine, Scandinavian and Cajun, blackened lutefisk.
Oh, God.
Interesting.
My stomach just gave a little turn.
Well, let's keep that in mind as we head off into the new year. And I want to thank anyone for listening today, and thank you, too, for being here. Thank you, Scooter, and thank you, Eddie, for lending your voices to a bold and distant future. Please like and subscribe. Visit our Instagram page. Thumbs up.
May I just say to both of you, Merry Christmas, leftist scum.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Right back at you.
You got it.
All right, peace.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Adios.
Merry Christmas, leftist scum.